The foundation of every successful enterprise lies in its business model. A business model is more than a diagram on a whiteboard or a slide in a pitch deck. It is the very structure that defines how value is created, delivered, and captured. Without a strong model, even the brightest ideas risk collapsing under their own weight. Because ideas alone do not generate wealth. The true power of business models is that they provide clarity and predictability. They give direction to an entrepreneur's energy, ensuring that every action taken has a purpose aligned with profitability and growth. When we look at companies that have gone on to become giants, their success is rarely because they had a unique product no one else could imagine. More often, it is because they chose the right business model. Netflix did not invent entertainment. Spotify did not invent music. Uber did not invent transportation. What they did was reimagine how people accessed and paid for these services. They shifted away from one-time transactions to models that generated recurring revenue and customer loyalty. This is where the brilliance of business models shines. A product can fade, but a powerful business model creates a system that generates income predictably and consistently. The power of business models also lies in scalability. A model that allows growth without a proportional rise in cost is one that can truly make millions. Consider software as service SaaS. Once the product is developed, every additional customer adds revenue with very little added cost. This is fundamentally different from a traditional brick and mortar business where more customers often mean more inventory, more staff, and higher overhead. The SaaS model demonstrates how the design of the business itself can determine whether it remains small or scales into a global force. Another key element of business models is their ability to adapt to customer behavior. Subscription models work because they align with convenience and predictability that modern consumers demand. Marketplace models thrive because they tap into networks, connecting buyers and sellers in a way that creates value for both sides. The franchise model succeeds because it enables expansion while sharing the burden of capital and management. Each of these models reflects an understanding not only of how money flows low, but also of how people prefer to interact with businesses. The right model also attracts investors and partners. A clear path to revenue and growth gives confidence to those who want to be part of the journey. That is why startups spend so much energy refining their business models before seeking funding. Investors are less concerned with the brilliance of the idea and more interested in the structure that ensures long-term profitability. The power of a business model is that it reduces uncertainty and replaces it with a roadmap that others can believe in. Business models also shape culture and decision-making inside a company. A transactional model fosters a mindset of chasing the next sale, while a recurring revenue model nurtures a culture of customer care and retention. The chosen model determines priorities, whether it is maximizing volume, increasing engagement, or scaling distribution. This cultural impact of business models is often overlooked, yet it directly influences the sustainability of growth. Ultimately, the greatest power of business models is their ability to transform ordinary opportunities into extraordinary wealth. A simple idea, when paired with the right structure, can become a billion-dollar company. The reverse is equally true. A brilliant innovation with a weak or unsustainable model will struggle to survive. Entrepreneurs who understand this shift their focus from merely creating products to engineering systems of value, exchange that endure. The truth is, success is rarely about inventing something completely new. It is about mastering the model that sustains growth, inspires trust, and scales with demand. That is why the most enduring lesson in business is this: products may come and go, but a powerful business model lasts, adapts, and multiplies wealth beyond imagination. A brilliant business model is only half the equation. To truly create a business that generates millions, it must be aligned with a market that is not only large but also hungry. A hungry market is one that has a deep, pressing demand, an audience eager for solutions, willing to spend, and actively searching for something better than what they already have. Many businesses fail not because their product lacks quality, but because they attempt to feed a market that isn't hungry. Success lies in finding those groups of people whose needs are urgent, whose problems are painful, and whose desires are strong enough to drive consistent demand. When an entrepreneur aligns with a hungry market, momentum is almost automatic. Take the rise of health and wellness as an example. The global population is becoming more health conscious, and the demand for fitness apps, organic foods, supplements, and personalized wellness plans has skyrocketed. Entrepreneurs who position themselves in this market didn't have to convince people that health matters. The hunger was already there. Their role was simply to serve the need in a better, more accessible, or more affordable way. Hungry markets often emerge in times of transition. Think about the sudden shift to remote work in 2020. Overnight, millions of professionals were forced to operate from home. This created a massive, urgent demand for collaboration tools, virtual communication platforms, and home office equipment. Zoom, which had existed for years, suddenly became a household name because it was aligned with a market that had become ravenous almost instantly. Timing, therefore, is just as critical as alignment. The same idea launched in a stagnant or uninterested market may languish, while in a hungry market it becomes a phenomenon. The key to recognizing a hungry market lies in observing pain points. People will always pay to solve problems that impact their lives, their health, their wealth, or their happiness. A hungry market is one where the problem is so pressing that people are not only willing to pay, but eager to do so. Uber succeeded because people were tired of unreliable taxis. Airbnb thrived because travelers wanted affordable, authentic accommodations. Hungry markets are built on frustrations, waiting for solutions. It is also important to note that size alone does not equal hunger. A large market may appear attractive, but if its demand is lukewarm or satisfied by strong incumbents, entry becomes an uphill battle. On the other hand, a smaller but starving niche can deliver millions if the solution is precise and powerful. Dollar Shave Club is a perfect example. The razor market was massive, dominated by giants, but consumers were frustrated by overpriced products. By addressing that hunger with a direct-to-consumer model, the company carved out a multi-million-dollar success story. Entrepreneurs must therefore research, test, and validate their markets before scaling. This involves listening deeply to customer feedback, studying trends, and watching for shifts in consumer behavior. Hungry markets often reveal themselves in the gaps where existing solutions fail, where customer dissatisfaction is high, and where trends indicate rising urgency. Entering such a market gives an entrepreneur the wind at their back, pushing their business forward faster than it could grow on sheer effort alone. The alignment with hungry markets also ensures sustainability. Demand that comes from necessity or strong desire does not vanish easily. People will always seek better health, improved financial stability, easier access to education, or convenience in daily life. These universal hungers are timeless, and businesses that align with them can evolve alongside changing technologies while maintaining relevance. At its core, aligning with hungry markets is about empathy and timing. It requires understanding people at a deep level, feeling their frustrations and recognizing their aspirations. When entrepreneurs build businesses around those hungers, they don't have to chase customers. Customers come searching for them. And that is when millions are made, not through forceful persuasion, but through serving the undeniable appetites of a market that is already waiting to be fed. When we look at the companies that dominate the global economy today, one truth stands out clearly. It is not always the uniqueness of the product that creates wealth, but the brilliance of the business model behind it. Proven business models have turned ordinary ideas into extraordinary empires, and they continue to serve as blueprints for entrepreneurs who want to build ventures that generate millions. These models demonstrate how strategic structures can scale revenue, strengthen customer loyalty, and create long-term sustainability. One of the most celebrated examples is the subscription model made popular by companies like Netflix and Spotify. Entertainment was not new, nor was music. Yet, these companies redefined how customers consumed them. By offering unlimited access for a fixed monthly fee, they transformed occasional buyers into loyal, recurring subscribers. The genius of this model lies in predictability. Revenue is steady, customer relationships are long-term, and growth becomes more scalable because every new subscriber adds to a reliable stream of income. Entrepreneurs across industries, from fitness apps to meal kits, have adopted this model with great success. Another powerful model is software as a service, a SaaS. Companies like Salesforce, Zoom, and Canva have thrived by moving software from one-time purchases to cloud-based, subscription-driven services. This model reduces upfront costs for customers, making the product more accessible, while allowing companies to generate consistent, recurring revenue. SaaS also scales beautifully. Once the infrastructure is in place, adding new customers does not require significant additional costs. This makes it one of the most profitable models in today's digital economy, and its success has inspired thousands of startups to follow the same path. Then there is the marketplace model, exemplified by giants like Amazon, Uber, and Airbnb. Instead of creating their own products or services, these companies built platforms that connected buyers with sellers, or riders with drivers, or travelers with hosts. By taking a small percentage of each transaction, they scaled rapidly without owning inventory or massive infrastructure. The strength of the marketplace model lies in its network effect. The more users it attracts, the more valuable it becomes, creating a cycle of growth that is hard for competitors to disrupt. The freemium model is another proven winner, especially in the digital world. Companies like LinkedIn, Dropbox, and Spotify have mastered this approach. They offer a basic service for free, attracting millions of users, and then charge for premium features. This strategy works because it builds trust and habit first. Once users rely on the service, Many are willing to upgrade for added convenience or functionality. The freemium model lowers the barrier to entry, draws massive audiences, and then converts a fraction of them into paying customers, often enough to generate millions in revenue. Another model worth noting is franchising, the backbone of brands like McDonald's, KFC, and Subway. By allowing entrepreneurs to operate under their brand and system, these companies scaled globally without shouldering the entire financial or operational burden themselves. Franchising creates wealth by multiplying reach quickly, leveraging local ownership while maintaining consistency in quality and brand recognition. It has proven to be one of the most powerful models in physical retail and food industries. Even direct-to-consumer DTC models have reshaped industries. Dollar Shave Club disrupted a market dominated by giants simply by shipping affordable razors directly to customers, bypassing middlemen, by owning the customer relationship and cutting unnecessary costs. DTC brands can offer competitive prices while building loyal communities. This model thrives especially in the age of social media, where storytelling and personal branding allow companies to connect directly with their audiences. The beauty of these proven models is not just in their success, but in their adaptability. Entrepreneurs can mix and match them, creating hybrid strategies. For instance, many SaaS companies use both subscription and freemium models. Marketplaces often combine transaction fees with subscription tiers for sellers. The flexibility ensures that these models can evolve with changing markets and customer behaviors. Ultimately, these examples remind us that success is rarely about reinventing the wheel. It is about choosing a model that matches the product, resonates with customer behavior, and scales efficiently. Proven business models are powerful because they reduce guesswork, provide tested paths to profitability, and inspire confidence in both customers and investors. For any entrepreneur dreaming of millions, studying and adopting these models can turn ambition into reality. The ability to identify high potential markets is one of the most valuable skills an entrepreneur can develop. A brilliant business model or an innovative product will only thrive if it is launched in a market that has the energy, size, and hunger to support its growth. High potential markets are not always the largest or the most obvious. They are the ones with rapid growth, clear demand, and opportunities for innovation. Finding them requires observation, research, and a deep understanding of how people's needs evolve over time. One characteristic of high potential markets is sustained growth. Markets that consistently expand year after year indicate increasing demand and long-term viability. Take the health and wellness sector as an example. People across the globe are becoming more conscious of fitness, diet, and mental health. This market, already valued at trillions, continues to expand as new technologies, apps, supplements, and fitness services enter the scene. Entrepreneurs who step into this space with unique, customer-focused offerings often find that the demand is ready to support rapid scaling. Technology-driven markets are another clear example. Artificial intelligence, fintech, cybersecurity, and renewable energy are areas where demand is exploding. AI tools are transforming how people work and learn. Fintech is disrupting traditional banking, offering speed, convenience, and accessibility. Cybersecurity has become essential as digital threats rise, creating a market where companies are willing to spend millions to protect themselves. Renewable energy is not just a trend, but a necessity as governments, corporations, and individuals look for sustainable solutions. Each of these sectors combines necessity with growth, making them fertile ground for million-dollar opportunities. However, high potential markets are not always massive industries. They can also be niches. A niche market with underserved customers can be more profitable than entering a crowded, saturated field. Consider the pet industry, for example. Pet owners are increasingly willing to spend on specialized food, grooming, healthcare, and luxury products. While it may seem small compared to industries like technology or healthcare, it is a niche that continues to grow because of emotional investment and shifting cultural values. Identifying niches like this requires paying attention to customer passions and frustrations that larger players overlook. High potential markets are also often shaped by cultural and demographic shifts. Aging populations, for instance, create opportunities in elder care, healthcare services, and lifestyle products tailored to seniors. Younger generations, on the other hand, are driving markets such as eco-friendly products, digital entertainment, and personalized learning platforms. Recognizing these shifts allows entrepreneurs to meet the needs of groups whose size and influence are steadily increasing. Timing plays a critical role as well. A high potential market today may not have existed 5 years ago. The pandemic accelerated the adoption of online education, telemedicine, and remote work solutions. Entrepreneurs who identified this shift early were able to capture immense value quickly. Staying informed about social, technological, and economic trends is essential to spotting these changes before they become obvious to everyone else. Another factor is the pain level within a market. The more pressing the problem, the more people are willing to pay for a solution. For example, markets addressing climate change, affordable housing, or rising healthcare costs are not just growing, they are urgent. High potential markets exist where urgency intersects with scale, giving entrepreneurs both a clear mission and a profitable opportunity. Ultimately, identifying high potential markets requires a combination of analysis and intuition. Entrepreneurs must study industry reports, customer feedback, and competitor behavior, but they must also trust their ability to see patterns and anticipate future needs. The real winners are those who identify a market just before it explodes, positioning themselves ahead of the wave. High potential markets are not just about money. They represent areas where businesses can make real impact. When an entrepreneur aligns purpose with profitability, serving a growing demand that improves lives, success becomes inevitable. That is why the art of spotting high potential markets is at the heart of building businesses that make millions. Growth in business is not a matter of chance. It is the result of applying a consistent formula that combines solving problems, choosing scalable models, leveraging technology, and building recurring revenue. While every entrepreneur's journey looks different on the surface, those who achieve millions tend to follow a similar path. Their growth does not come from luck, but from strategy and execution guided by principles that ensure momentum and sustainability. The first element of the formula is finding and solving a real pain point. Businesses grow when they provide meaningful solutions to pressing problems. Customers do not buy products. They buy relief from frustration, achievement of goals, and improvement of their lives. Uber grew because it solved the pain of unreliable taxis. Airbnb succeeded because it solved the problem of expensive, limited accommodations. Dollar Shave Club thrived because it solved the frustration of overpriced razors. The lesson is clear. Growth begins with empathy and insight into what people truly need. The second component is choosing the right business model. A strong idea can fail if paired with the wrong structure. Models like subscriptions, SaaS, and marketplaces create opportunities for scalable growth because they allow businesses to generate steady, repeatable revenue while keeping costs predictable. For example, Netflix turned a traditional rental model into a subscription-based service that brought customers back month after month. This shift in structure was the engine that fueled its global expansion. The right model acts as a multiplier, turning a good idea into a system that can grow far beyond its starting point. Next comes entering a growing market. Even the best business will struggle if it is placed in a stagnant or declining environment. Growth markets act like a rising tide, lifting businesses along with them. Technology, health, education, and sustainability are all examples of markets that continue to expand rapidly. Growth-minded entrepreneurs position themselves where customer demand is already climbing, so their efforts are amplified by market momentum. In these environments, even modest execution can result in significant success. The formula also emphasizes leveraging technology. Today's growth stories are powered by automation, digital tools, and global reach. Technology reduces costs, accelerates delivery, and provides access to customers anywhere in the world. Shopify enables small businesses to sell globally. Zoom connects people across continents instantly. Artificial intelligence tools help companies personalize services at scale. By embracing technology, businesses expand their capacity without equally expanding their expenses, which is the foundation of sustainable growth. A critical piece of the formula is recurrence. $1 million businesses are built on repeat customers, not one-time buyers. Recurring revenue creates predictability, reduces the cost of constantly acquiring new customers, and builds long-term relationships. Amazon Prime is a classic example. Customers pay annually for membership, and in return, they continue purchasing more frequently. This cycle of loyalty and convenience ensures that revenue streams stay strong and reliable. Businesses that prioritize customer retention often outgrow competitors who focus only on initial sales. Finally, growth requires consistency and adaptability. No business grows in a straight line. Markets shift, competitors emerge, and customer needs evolve. Companies that thrive are those that stay consistent in their mission, but flexible in their methods. They measure results, adjust strategies, and continuously improve. Netflix pivoted from DVD rentals to streaming and then to content creation. Its adaptability kept growth alive even as technology and customer habits changed. The formula for growth, then, is not a secret, but a discipline. Solve real problems, structure the business intelligently, operate in expanding markets. Embrace technology, build recurring revenue, and stay adaptable. Entrepreneurs who internalize this formula are not gambling with their future. They are stacking the odds in their favor. Growth becomes less about luck and more about design. The most powerful truth about this formula is that it can be applied by anyone, regardless of industry or experience. Whether in technology, food, health, or education, the principles remain the same. Those who follow them with focus and persistence build not just profitable companies, but scalable enterprises capable of lasting success. In business, money is often seen as the ultimate measure of success. But the truth is that the companies which endure, scale, and build true wealth are those that go beyond profit and focus on creating value. Value beyond money is about building relationships, trust, and impact that cannot be captured in financial statements alone. While revenue fuels growth, it is value that sustains it. Customers may buy once for convenience, but they stay loyal to a business that makes a meaningful difference in their lives. The first layer of value beyond money is customer experience. People do not just buy products, they buy the way those products make them feel. Apple devices, for instance, are not just tools, they represent design, simplicity, and status. Starbucks does not just sell coffee, it sells an environment of comfort and connection. When businesses focus on delivering experiences that customers treasure, they build emotional bonds that money alone cannot buy. This emotional connection is why some companies are able to charge premium prices and still maintain devoted followings. The second layer is trust and reliability. Customers want to know that a business will deliver consistently. Trust is not built through advertisements. It is earned through actions. Amazon became the world's largest online retailer, not simply by offering products, but by guaranteeing convenience, fast delivery, and reliable customer service. Trust creates loyalty, and loyalty compounds into recurring revenue. In this way, value beyond money becomes a business's most powerful asset because trust is harder to replace than price. Businesses that go beyond money also create social and cultural impact. Modern consumers are increasingly values-driven, preferring to support companies that align with their beliefs. Brands that commit to sustainability, fair trade, or community development win not only customers, but also advocates. Tesla is more than a car company. It is a symbol of clean energy and innovation. Patagonia sells clothing, but its brand identity is tied to environmental activism. This alignment with purpose gives businesses depth and resilience because customers feel they are part of a larger mission. Another way value extends beyond money is through empowerment and education. Companies that help their customers grow, learn, or achieve more create loyalty that financial transactions alone cannot sustain. Canva, for example, does not just provide a design tool. It empowers individuals and businesses to create professional, quality work without hiring experts. LinkedIn is not only a networking site, it enables professional development and opportunity. By helping customers achieve their goals, these companies turn ordinary users into lifelong partners. Value beyond money also comes from the way businesses treat their employees and partners. A company that invests in its people creates a culture of motivation and excellence. Google's success is not just in its products, but in its culture of innovation, where employees feel valued and empowered. When employees are engaged, they deliver better service, innovate more freely, and contribute to long-term success. The internal culture becomes part of the external value that customers experience. Importantly, value beyond money creates resilience in tough times. Businesses driven solely by profit may crumble when markets shift or competitors enter, but those that have cultivated trust, loyalty, and purpose often survive and even thrive under pressure. Customers return not just because of necessity, but because of connection. The goodwill created through value is like a reserve of strength that carries companies through uncertainty. Ultimately, businesses that prioritize value beyond money often end up making more money in the long run. Profit becomes the byproduct of serving customers deeply, solving real problems, and making a difference in people's lives. The companies that achieve iconic status do so because they understand that financial wealth follows the creation of genuine value. Entrepreneurs who focus only on short-term profits limit themselves. But those who build value that touches emotions, fosters trust, aligns with purpose, and empowers people create something far greater. They create movements, communities, and legacies. Value beyond money is the invisible capital that fuels millions, not only in revenue, but in impact, reputation, and longevity.